Y'all thought I was finished? Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Hey, I'm your host, Port City Ace, and welcome back to Philly Fan Sports. Today is a good day in Philly, in being an Eagles fan. We actually clinched the NFC East today, so congratulations to everybody. Yeah, a nice, long round of applause. We could have actually done this 2 weeks ago when we played against the Cowboys. We could have did it last week when we played against New Orleans, but we wanted to wait to week 18 just so it could be a lot better, a lot more suspense and everything else, right? So the Eagles beat the Giants 22-16. So it wasn't a great game by us. To be honest with you, offensively, we didn't do a great job in regards to being in the red zone. We just kind of gave away too many opportunities, and I really feel like by us not wanting to run Jalen Hurts, and of course I'm not mad or upset that we didn't run our quarterback, right, because he's coming off a shoulder injury. But the fact that we didn't run him in the red zone a lot, our offense really wasn't as fluid as I would like for it to be in the red zone. So we ended up beating the Giants 22-16. And like I said, we ended up kicking like 5 field goals, and like we literally just wasn't doing a great job in the red zone, right? So Jalen Hurts, our performance really wasn't a bad performance. Of course, he still kind of has some lag, and because he just missed the last 2 weeks against the Cowboys and the Saints, so he's kind of trying to get everything back together. And to be honest with you, I really didn't like the fact that of his performance or the way how we actually used him during this game, right? So he ended up having 20 of 35 completions for 229 yards, 1 interception. Now, let's get into the actual the attempts, right? 35 attempts off of a bad shoulder. I didn't like that per se. I didn't like the fact that we made him throw so much, and just considering the fact that we did a great job against the Giants in the first game in running the ball. And of course, like I said, I know he was a part of helping us run the ball, right? But we literally just could have ran the ball, I felt like, a lot more or a lot better as well, right? So Jalen Hurts, like I said, didn't have a great game. So now we get to the running game. Boston Scott, who is the giant killer. Every time he plays against the Giants, he has a good game against the Giants. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the Giants did to him, but hey, I appreciate it, all right? Like 10 of his 17 touchdowns in his career has come against the Giants. So congratulations, Giants. Thank Boston Scott. All right. So 9 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. Miles Sanders had 11 carries for 33. Gainwell had 5 carries for 35. So running the ball wise, we weren't horrible. I think that we could have done a lot better or ran the ball a lot more in regards to trying to save Jalen Hurts. But like I said, just the overall attempts for Jalen Hurts, I was not a fan of, okay? All right, so we get to the receiving yards. So Devontae Smith, 7 catches for 67 yards, 0 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 4 catches, 95 yards, no touchdowns. Dallas Goedert, 6 catches for 46 yards. Now, this I like for Dallas Goedert. I love Dallas Goedert having at least between 6 to 8 attempts as far as catches, right? Just because I want him to really kind of control the middle of the field. When we have AJ on this side, when we have Devontae on the other side, I want him to be the individual in the middle, just kind of taking all of the actual receptions in the middle, because we should not throw the ball to Quez Watkins across the middle. AJ Brown, I can live with that, right? Even Devontae, I'm not even a fan of Devontae catching the ball across the middle, just because I know he has a heart, but he's a slimmer guy. I don't want him to be able to go across the middle and get cracked by a linebacker or a safety coming down, right? I want Dallas Goedert to have 6 to 8 catches a game going into the playoffs. All right, first off. So overall, like I said, the numbers aren't really gaudy. They aren't really great per se, but they got the job done. And I mean, just to be honest with you, the Giants didn't play anybody worth mentioning in regards to the offense or the defense, really, to be honest with you. I mean, they did have their defensive line playing, right? But a lot of those guys ended up not even really doing anything for the most part. So we really controlled this game for the most part, but we just ended up kicking field goals. And I felt like if we got up a touchdown, 2 touchdowns early in the game, we probably would have sat Jalen Hurts, or at least wait till the beginning of the third quarter to sit him, so that way he wouldn't have to play the whole game. Get in, get out, get your points, get on through, right? But the fact we just kept kicking field goal after field goal after field goal, he ended up having to play the whole game. Now, Third down conversion, we went 5 of 14, which wasn't bad. We didn't have any fourth downs today. Total yards, 342 total yards as a team on the offense side of the ball. 4 penalties for 30 yards, which isn't it's not horrible. I mean, you still want to, of course, limit as many penalties as possible because one of those penalties actually brought back a touchdown by Devontae Smith. And so, yeah, so you definitely want to turn down on the penalties. All right. 31 of 26 time of possession as well. So as far as the game goes, we literally, like I said, it wasn't a great game. I felt like we really were more of a 6 or 7 in regards to, on the scale of 10, in regards to like the offense that we were running and everything else that we were doing. Right. And so, even with that, like I said, I mean, I know Jalen Hurts is coming back, and you don't want to just kind of have him running our regular offense when we have a playoff game, and you want him to rest a little bit because we do have the bye currently as the number 1 seed. All right, so I can understand it. I like it, but I still feel like we still could have done a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball. Okay. All right, so defense. Let's get into the defense side of the ball. Today was actually a good day. I know that the score itself kind of, we only won the game by 6 points, but the defense for the most part didn't even do anything in regards to letting them score. Like we really pitched a shutout really until like the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Like they kicked the field goal and Darius Slay, they give up a big touchdown on the right side. He looked like he really was just trying to push the guy out of bounds, but the guy ended up catching the ball, pulling it into his body, and getting both feet down in the back of the end zone. So Darius, he just didn't even know how the guy caught the ball. To be honest with you, I don't know how he caught the ball, but he caught the ball, and that's how they kind of made the game a lot closer than what it needed to be. But at the end of the day, we ended up having to do a lot more at the end of the game to kind of try to get ourselves into the game at the end. All right, so we also gave up 2 sacks. We had 2 sacks today, one from Kaiser White and one from Zach McPherson. So we had 2 sacks. I'm so upset because we were 2 sacks away from tying a record by the Bears. This year we had 70 sacks as a team, which is a phenomenal feat. That is great. That's unprecedented right there. And just considering the fact of how many guys in our rotation that we have that keeps coming and bringing a different wave, a different guy keeps, making big plays every week for us and getting things done. So I really appreciate it. And that's basically where we are today in regards to the defense. Like I said, it wasn't a great performance, but we did shut them down for the most part of today. The most important stat for this whole entire game was 0 injuries. 0 injuries. No injuries after this game. I'm thankful. Thank you guys so much for not getting injured. Because I would hate to still have that bye and then we still have guys injured now. The fact that we just don't have guys injured in this game. Now, we still do have guys injured. We still have Josh Sweat injured. We still have our right tackle, Lane Johnson, injured. But I believe that both of those guys, just considering we have this bye currently right now, that they will play the following week in the divisional round. And just that way, we can have some more guys coming off the bench and getting back into the game, helping our rotation out and everything else. All right. I also know Miles Sanders, he was dealing with a knee injury as well. He actually wore a brace. So we wanted to also get him some rest. Jalen Hurts, even though he played this game, he still has his shoulder injury as well. So, like I said, I just want to make sure that we are getting healthy going into the game. Now, in other news, right? The good part about it is the Eagles are the number 1 seed. Let's get into this playoff race. The Eagles are the number 1 seed, which is fantastic, which is great. I appreciate it, right? So, the number 2 seed is the 49ers. The number 3 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. The number 4 seed is the Tampa Bay Bucks. The 5 seed is Dallas Cowboys. The 6 seed is the Giants. And the 7 seed is the Seahawks. So that is the playoff race. So currently right now you have the Seahawks versus the 49ers, which is going to be a great game. That's a divisional rivalry game. So that's even though right now the 49ers are really, some people have them ahead of ahead of the Eagles, and some people, of course, to have them number 2 behind the Eagles, but they're a top team, of course, right? So that's a divisional game, and that's going to be a really tough game, I believe, personally, just because it's a division game, right? Then you have the Giants versus Minnesota. That's a really good game. I think that really is more of a toss-up or a closer game than what a lot of people really kind of want to talk about. And the Cowboys versus the Bucks. That's also going to be a good game. The Cowboys have not beaten Tom Brady literally since ever. Like really, rarely ever. Like so, that's also going to be a good game as well. So the playoff picture is set, and we literally are just kind of just sitting back, letting everybody beat each other the hell up, and let's just get to them in the divisional round and rust our guys. All right, now. This has really been a great year for us, not just as far as us having the number 1 seed, but we did break a lot of records this year, just considering the fact that this is our coach Nick Sirianni's second season as our head coach, right? So the first record that we ended up, one of the records that we ended up breaking this year was A.J. Brown ended up breaking a record in regards to a single season receiver, all right, except for the Eagles. So A.J. Brown had 1,496 yards this year. Good job. So Mike Quick, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mike Quick or who Mike Quick is, but of course he was a wide receiver for the Eagles. But he is a announcer currently for the Eagles right now, and he literally is one of the guys who. He's a play-by-play for the Eagles as of right now. All right, so he actually set this record back in 1983, and he also had 1,409 yards back then. So no other receiver that has literally walked through the door has done what A.J. Brown has done in his first season. All right, so that is a great job by A.J. Brown. This defense set a record as well with 70 sacks this year. 70 sacks as a team, as a whole. Great job, everybody on the defense side of the ball, all right? And also, the Eagles had a franchise record with wins this year. This is our first time ever having 14 wins in a season as well. So, of course, we go from having 16 games to 17 games. But to be honest with you, I still felt like we could have had this record. But just the fact that we ended up having this record now, you gotta give him a round of applause, people. You have to give him a round of applause. So I just be honest with you, man. I hope that this right here is literally just a preview of what's not just in this playoff race, but literally going forward with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, like our whole entire defense, our whole entire offense. Everyone within this organization, let's set a new standard. Like this is the new standard, I believe, in Philadelphia as of right now. So, yeah, man. So I'm ready and just kind of doing like you guys, just kind of sitting back, letting everybody beat each other up, watch these games, and just see what's going on with them. All right. So, thank you guys for checking in. Fly Eagles fly, and let's just kind of rest, kick our feet up, and watch these games this week. All right. So, I'm your host, Port City Ace. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.